I've finally refound the attention to actually edit the Evil EastEnders video, which is now it's nearly 50 minutes done. It's probably going to be like 1 hour 15, 1 hour 20 in total. But I've finally gotten at least half the entries finished. I'm working on the fourth one. So, now the next like couple of weeks are just going to be all about finishing the videos so I can actually see if they're... I was just saying I'm working on the video, excited for it to potentially come out, see if the audience is there for it,
I'm excited for the video. I've obviously seen my entry, so I haven't seen Ash's because Ash is inclusive, but I'm not inclusive. I don't know what the word is. Secret about his entries.
Well, I'm not secretive. It's just when you recorded your entries, I was there, but when I recorded my entries, I was like, I'm doing this by myself.
Yeah, and that is the next big video. The thumbnail is perhaps one of my favorite gems.
It's a banger. It's probably the best thumbnail we've ever made.
Simply and
you've ever made pretty much.
I've only made one thumbnail before, so that was it.
You found the image, so
yeah. I enjoy it so much. It's a fun thing, and I hope we can do more of it. But I hope because obviously, if you don't know how editing works on this channel, is I do literally 95% of the basic videos, and Ash does all the high key long videos. So,
and obviously any of the solo videos.
Yeah. Even though I try and ask him to do the solo videos, but he's like, nah, it'll be alright. And by ask, I never asked once. So yeah.
No. No.
But yeah, and obviously I will be continuing to do that up until Christmas and shit. That's when I will obviously be putting my full Piggy into it and be editing down reactions and shit. Because that's what I do. I sit on my phone, I go through and go, that's funny joke and that. And I edit the podcast as well. And by edit the podcast, I mean I just put a title at the front of it and that's it. So Ash just does this big project. Because if I know this sounds weird, it sounds like that I'm just saying that I don't want to do it. But I feel like if I put my, if I go, I'll edit these entries. But I'll just get lazy and I'm like, Ash, what do you think of this? And be like, no, let me just do it. I prefer to do it my way.
Yeah, it's just I'm not, in a sense, I'm a control freak in terms of the stuff, because I'll definitely be like, this is what I want, this is the idea I have in my brain as how I want it to look or sound or be. A lot of the highly edited stuff, and if it doesn't involve my input, I'll have the input in the end, because I've kind of, obviously through all the years of doing this sort of shit and seeing the stuff I like and some of the stuff I want to imitate, obviously I've kind of picked up my plans and ideas as to how I want this shit to work. And these sorts of kind of horror type, true crime kind, that's obviously my shit. I love that sort of shit anyways. So yeah, it's just, but it's also because I've done a bunch, because basically a couple of years ago I did a project called Easily Entertained, which was like a movie and TV show review channel. And that was all done with using movie and TV footage, which was all late with copyright. But obviously all the editing days were 15-hour days, and I was having to get one out I don't think it was one a week, but it was fucking hectic. It was a crazy schedule. And I basically put in so many 15-hour days on the edit that I went, fuck this shit. I'm fucking sick of editing. Especially because I was also supposed to edit it with the other person who's doing the channel, but they took their sweet fucking time with everything, so I basically had to do everything. So through that, I immediately burnt myself out forevermore on editing, which I'm not the best at, and I would happily ship it off to someone else. But obviously I'd have to first have people who would want to do it for us, and second, people who could actually do a similar or better job as to how I would do it. So it's kind of it's not to say that I'm a really good editor or anything. I'm serviceable, but I don't know, just the expectations are higher in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm editing in my brain, I'm editing these sorts of videos for potential fucking hundreds of thousands to watch. Where, that's obviously the dream. But it also means that it takes way too fucking long, and I procrastinate it by months. So, when did we even record the voice lines for it? Like January,
Have to be
February,
March.
maybe
Have to be
March.
Yeah,
Yeah,
February, March. Because the original goal was to have it out by like April or May,
yeah.
and then you got burnt out, which is no problem. It's no fault of your own. Like no fault. Like I don't mean that crudely. Like I hope that.
Well, it is fault of my own, but yeah.
And then you went, oh Piggy, I'm just gonna grow my beard out and grow my mustache out until I did the video. And then weeks went by, I went, fucking hate this shaving. And
I did have it for like a good 3 months.
Yeah, I don't need for like 2 weeks, mate. What you on about?
No, I did for mate. You think I could grow that in 2 weeks? I had it for a good 2-3 months.
And then hair in my mouth. And then you finally just sat down and went, I'm going to finish this today. And I went, all right. Got the third entry done, and now he's on the fourth. He only has 2 more to do. Originally, it was going to be part 1 and part 2, which I didn't really. I didn't mind. I don't want to say I didn't agree with it, because I just agree with anything.
Well, it was just kind of a. It was just. It was basically I was trying to trick myself into how I was going to get it done. If I just release it in parts and I do it bite size, I'll get it finished.
But it's the problem with doing these sorts of videos is grabbing all the screenshots and stuff. Because you don't really want to include footage because the big YouTube would ban us. You've been banned before.
The Beeb does not like EastEnders footage. Like I've used a bit of footage, and initially I was going to use footage, but like I just opted for screenshots and occasional footage when it's kind of important enough. Obviously, I know there'll be people detracting from it, like, why aren't you just using footage? But like, it's not worth it. It's not worth the headache. It's not worth the fucking. Like, yeah, sure, screenshots, they're not as engaging, but like everything else about it is supposed to be. So like, I don't know. It's still it's still telling a story, which is how I've kind of made peace with it.
Yeah, my favorite thing that I've contributed now, because I've. If everybody wants to know my role in this, I do the first 3 entries, and that's just the last 3 entries. If people know this is a 2-person channel, obviously if he's doing, like I said, I'll do Hollyoaks and Coronation Street as well. I'd like do the entries for that, even though I don't watch it. I would do if he did do a Coronation Street or Emmerdale or like Hollyoaks version, I would do the entries, no problem. I don't know if
it's like Piggy in how the writing process. I basically go, here's an idea, here's the stuff that I want to cover in it. And then basically it goes to Piggy to kind of do most of the grunt work and go, here's what this character did, and then it went there, and mostly just scouring the wiki, but I don't fucking do it, so it does a good job, and then I'll come through, I'll rewrite a bunch of it, I'll cut shit out, I'll make it an engaging video, and then obviously. Once it's all written, which I fucking take my time with as well. Obviously the end goal is to hopefully actually get a good workflow with, where I don't spend 4 years doing it. But one step at a time. It just so happens that each video we decide to do ends up being way too long, and it's like, fuck. Let's do the first video essay, like 1 hour 20 of ranking 10 fucking Christmas. Oh, great. Yeah, woo! It didn't turn out great either, but it got the attention that I thought it was going to, anyways. But yeah, and then obviously I'll do all this. I'll re-script everything, and it then comes to the recording with Piggy's voice lines. Piggy's obviously never really done the voice line shit before. And like I said, yeah, I do. I've told multiple times, I do think you did a pretty good job of like catching the tone and kind of narrating it.
I did say multiple times I could re-record it with my brand new mic because I used my old mic, but I said no, so it's fine.
The next one will be with the new mic.
Yeah,
but yeah, and that's obviously the only that's how long ago it was that we recorded it before Piggy had his new mic.
Yep.
But and then obviously I recorded my lines. It took me ages to actually edit it all down to be like edited on, and then. Yeah, started the big edit with a shit ton of screenshots and narration, and got some music in there, got some cool little graphics. Like it's coming together. It's definitely the highest level of production that we've done on anything before.
My favorite, like my little inputs that I've put in is to like add the I don't know if it's catchphrase would be the correct term, but add their iconic lines into it.
Yes.
So obviously the one I always give out that will be included because he is supposed to be a joke entry in a sense because he's recent. You need to have a recent entry. It all can't just be from the 80s, 90s, you know. And obviously the one entry I always give out is Reese. He's one of the entries. Don't worry, he's very, very low on the list. He's not going to be.
He gets like 7 minutes.
Yeah, he's like he's the very. Look, I'm just going to say it, he's the very first one. He's not number one, and like obviously we put in his. He didn't really have a quote. The only real quote we had was, "I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you," which I went. Actually, I think that one works for Reese because
yes,
yeah. Or it was going to be well, that was
a close one.
Well, that was a close one, and then a bathtub falls on him because Reese was this easiest to write for because I just remembered a lot of it, and then going through the entries, it was harder and harder because I didn't know much about this. Some of the entries I did, but yeah, Reese was one of my like kind of favorites because I found some weird shit about like Reese. How like on a trip they didn't have a French name for Reese, they called him like John and shit, which is funny. And he would lock himself in the bathroom. But Jesus Christ, never want to visit that character again. But fucking hell, I do.
But yeah, it's genuinely it's interesting. It's cool to do all the research, but yeah, it's definitely been a lot. And it's kind of the weird thing because in this way, first it's doing more like stuff that's not just like current content. This stuff's supposed to be more like evergreen of the stuff that has happened. And it gets more like historical stuff. So it's supposed to kind of, in my brain, these are the sorts of videos that someone who's not even a soap fan could probably watch and still be engaged with. Whereas what we typically do, it kind of requires like a fairly strong level of like understanding where it's like, oh, who is Oscar? And then we obviously don't spend all the time to say, oh, Oscar is the kid of Tanya and Max, and here's why he should be weird, because it kind of operates on like a level of knowledge. But to me, these are the sorts of stuff that kind of I'll use the wanky word transcend, but it's supposed to be to like a bigger audience.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That is the video. As has actually worked on it, which is pretty good. I'm trying not to downplay it, but yeah, he's doing a great job on it. I've seen my last 3 entries that I did. He's finished my entries, so he's on his entry now. Which means what's going to be funny is he's just going to fly by his. He's just going to be done in about 2 weeks. Mine took 6 months. His is going to take 2 weeks. Watch this.
Look, my ego knows no bounds. That's why I couldn't do the Hollyoaks thing. Because if I was in an episode of Hollyoaks, I'd be such an insufferable. Oh, that's me. It's me. I'm in that. That's me. Didn't have any lines. That's me. But yeah, I'm trying to do a bunch of different. I should probably just. Obviously, the main goal currently is to just get it finished. But like, I'm trying to do some more kind of. I'm trying to have a bit more tact with doing it. Like, I'm still unsure whether I just put actual subtitles on the screen, because I kind of want to do that just to kind of make it a bit more accessible. But also, I'm not entirely sure. Like, because the closed captions wouldn't be good. So I don't know. It's just a bunch of like cool ideas that I don't know how many of them will manifest, but it's definitely evolved a lot more from what we initially conceived it would have been. And that's been a cool thing to kind of see.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have much more to say on this, so I guess I'll just very quickly go.
And wait for the video to come out in 3 years' time.
2029, let's go.
I suppose that the next, obviously, we don't want to mention the topic of the next video we vaguely have planned. But I'll just kind of mention we are planning on doing a form of like an iceberg to do with EastEnders, which once again it's kind of weird because in a sense we're kind of innovating this shit because no one else is doing these sorts of videos. So like we're technically creating all this really cool content, but a lot of it is just inspired by like horror YouTubers and whatnot. But yeah, I think that one's going to be fun. I think we got a lot of good material for it, and it's kind of Piggy made the smart choice to decide, let's not fucking discuss literally everything in this one video. We could just do multiples. Like, yeah, that's probably a good idea, isn't it? Because obviously I'm like, all encompassing, let's get everything done in one. Piggy's like, no. Come on.
Because obviously I know how YouTube grifting works. You kind of like it's better if you split it up into parts. So like if we're doing 6 notorious killers, let's just give 5 random ones. You can't put all the notorious ones like in one video because that's not right. Because
well, it's just you don't want it to be the definitive one in case you want to do more.
Yeah, like if you.
I mean, it's why it's the weird bit with the 6 most evil EastEnders, because obviously we've kind of ranked them all in order, but if we do any more, we've already done 6, so it's not like it's not like the next 6 are as evil or equally as ranked. It then just becomes 6 more. Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, and obviously, the iceberg. I've already finished the script for that months ago. Because I expected the
expected the video to get done before then, yeah.
Yeah, I expected the video to be done by at least May, so I could start like voice-overing some shit. But no, I was just waiting, and I'm like, Ash, and he's like,
I don't even know who's voiceover in the iceberg. Is it me or you?
I think it's me, and then it might be you for the very bottom one. It's one or the other. We'll obviously discuss it off camera. But it's probably me, so I'm like, I'm sort of
fair.
So I kind of have like a platform instead of like, guys, welcome back to Hollyoaks.
You probably do the iceberg stuff as well.
Yeah, but with the rankings, like unless it's Christmas, it will usually just be me and Ash. Like, so 6 most evil EastEnders will usually just be me and Ash, or like 6 most sexy scenes in EastEnders, me and Ash. Or like, do it. So I do the first 3, he does the last 3, or he does the first 3 and I do the last 3. I probably should have done it with you do the first 3 and I do the last 3, because I don't know if people are going to click on with my voice, but who knows. But I hope it's good. I hope people enjoy it, and I hope it comes out well, and I hope like it's released.
I hope it comes out personally. Yeah.
Oh, I hope it's
Fingers
released.
Crossed.
Hopefully it's released before October, but if it's released in October, that's good, because then we can just say we had this planned for October. Halloween, yeah. Release it before I go to...
Hopefully it gets released before then.
Imagine it releases while I'm in fucking Disneyland Paris, and he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I meet Mickey Mouse dressed as a superhero, and he's like, what the hell? I guess very quickly I can give my movie review of Superman, if you don't mind.
Just I think the last general bit that I know I have I'm fucking dominated. This has been a long ass after show, just because sometimes you get caught up in a wave.
It's all good.
It's been really fun though. Like it's kind of it's not like it's a weird state of being, because the bread and butter of this channel is obviously like the Reddit videos and the kind of daily stuff, but like at some point you do get a bit sick of like, what am I talking about today? I'm talking about what EastEnders romances were shit, and for fuck's, here we go again. Fucking just make some shit up for a 20-minute video. Like it can get a little bit samey, but to kind of try and do something that feels a bit more important and feels a little bit like I said, I think evergreen's the word. Something that feels like it could actually, you could watch it in 2025 and you could watch it in 2035 and you still get enough to know what's going on. Whereas, is someone watching, what is EastEnders' biggest failure? Is someone watching that in 5 years' time? No, it should watch it when it comes out. But it's nice to kind of feel, like it's kind of growing into something a little bit bigger, I guess, is my... That's kind of where I've mentally been like, yeah, this is why this is cool.
Yeah.
Because I always looked at all the other, I looked at the other soap channels like Talking Walford, who does all the theories. And I looked at Soap Study. Well, most of them are gone now. And I looked at Soap Study, who kind of does probably way more interesting stuff, where it's like, is Hayley Cropper like an interesting look on a trans in soap, and like that's I'm just like looking at that like, well, time to release top 10 women Max Brannan has shagged. it's in comparison. It's like, oh, am I actually adding much worth? I'm sure everybody enjoys most of the stuff we do, but it'll be nice to feel like I'm doing something bigger than this.
It's like going up to an F1 race and they're all in big fancy sports cars, and you're in a fucking like cardboard box with wheels. Like you're showing up to the wrong thing. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I like giving out ideas and stuff. I usually am the person who gives ideas for most of it. Like I know like we started shortly, but I've just been like ramping through like Christmas ideas because I'm like, we need to start in like 2 weeks time, because I like having it done early, so it's not like it's November now, time to sit down in this fucking chair, watch an hour of EastEnders again while editing this, and let's hope for the best. And then that's usually what I do. I plan Christmas around this time, and then we started in August. We roughly finished in September, then we pick back up in November for in-person videos. We could do in-person earlier, maybe see how we feel.